welcome to Polish with Ray. I'm Rachel and today I'm going to be sharing with you my winter nail polish haul for 2024. Before we get started, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you're excited to see what I've been purchasing over the past few months. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure you do so you don't miss out on future uploads. So this time around, I'm going to be sharing from some different brands than what I typically share on my channel. Yes, there is still a lot of Wildflower Lacquer. Yes, there's a lot of Nailed It. Those are normal. But I actually purchased some of my first Mooncat polishes. I'm excited to share my thoughts on those. I have quite a few Cadillacquers that are so pretty to share with you this month as well. And not quite as many mainstream polishes as I usually have, so change it up a little bit. So we're gonna take a look at each polish, up close bottle shots, swatched out on a swatch wheel. And I'm gonna give you all my thoughts on the polish. Am I glad I got it? Am I a little bit unsure why I purchased it? And if any of these are available, I will link them down in the description box. All right, I think we have about 50 polishes to check out, so let's go ahead and take a look. I thought you might want to know what this pretty pink is on my nails. I'm currently wearing OPI Big Bow Energy. So the first thing I have to haul is not a polish, but a polish item. This was sent to me by the brand. It is from the brand Wet Paint Gift Shop, and it's this really cute enamel pin. They have several different designs, and I just think this is adorable. So if this kind of thing interests you, I will link it down below. But thank you to Wet Paint for sending this my way. And if you're not familiar with their brand, it is run by Less Talk More Polish, who is also on YouTube. So I'll link her channel down below too. So these aren't in any particular order. I just kind of tried to group them by brand and how they released, I guess. So we're starting off with my PPU purchase. This one was way back in November and it's called Girl Dragon. It comes from Phoenix, by the way. I don't think I said that. So when this one released, I wanted it really badly, but I guess I thought I skipped it because when it came in the mail, I was so surprised, and it was a pleasant surprise. It's kind of not what I'd usually go for. I mean, I have a type. It's anything bright, and this isn't that, but it is so pretty and just like was giving me everything I was wanting in November. Warm, cozy, and the shimmer really pops. It's so pretty. In November, I also grabbed Ethereal Lacquer's offering, which is Ether Dragon. This one has a super sheer base. It's got large particle shimmer that shifts green to blue, and I think the base might be slightly lightly tinted purple, but you can hardly tell. Here's what it looks like on the nail wheel, and yes, that is what it looks like in real life. It is so glowy and bold, and the base almost has kind of a brownie nudie pink lean to it, so I think I'm gonna layer it over OPI, put it in neutral. This next one was Bluebird Lacquer's December release for PPU, and it's called Winter is So Chill. This one has a cobalt blue base and a gorgeous shimmer that shifts pink to copper to gold, and that shattered hollow Bluebird Lacquer does so well. It had a great formula and the shimmer is very prominent. I can't wait to see this one out in the sun. Then I grabbed 3 shades in January's polish pickup, including Emily DeMolly Noxious. This one is a really interesting, I want to call it a grass green, but it has just a little bit of darkness to it that grass greens don't typically have. And it's got all of these different sized flakies. You can see some of them are gigantic and they're in pink, gold, and copper and green. I am so glad this one is every bit as squishy in person as it looked on the swatches. It's incredible. This one's going on my summer rack. Like, I'm already looking forward to summer. Because the polish mage told me I had to have it, I also grabbed KBShimmer How You Doin'. This one has a purple base and an incredibly glowy blue shimmer. It is so bold that, yeah, it's mostly picking up blue on my camera, but in real life I do see that it has a purple base and it's got hollow sparkle that is so twinkly. Here's what that one looks like built up, and I feel like my camera is doing this one a little bit of a disservice. The purple is so bright, it's almost like a neon purple, and the blue shimmer is rich and saturated and intense. And the last PPU shade I grabbed in January comes from Cadillacquer, and it's called Larkspur. Larkspur has a kind of grapey purple base, but it's got a little bit more white in it, so it just has a little bit of a dusty quality to it. It's got cobalt glitters in a variety of sizes, hex glitters, micro glitters, and then some really beautiful larger iridescent flakes. Here it is in 3 coats. I've been on a little bit of a Cadillacquer kick here lately, so I had to grab this one when it released, which is kind of surprising to me because I'm not the biggest purple person, but I feel like Cadillacquer has been releasing a lot of magnetics or a lot of thermals, and I'm not interested in either of those really. So when I saw one of their Crellies that was not a thermal, I said, I don't really care what color it is, I want it. Plus, this is kind of like a beautiful shade of purple. I did shop from a few destashes this month. This next purchase comes from CX Polish's destash. It's Color Expression. He had a big destash earlier this year. It was back in December, and it took a while to process everything, but I got my order and I am so pleased. Like, the prices were ridiculous. I blindly bought the next 5 Cadillacquer. I told him I wanted them without even looking them up because I didn't want anyone to snatch them before I could. And once I looked them up, I was really excited for them. But like I said, I was on a Cadillacquer kick, so I wanted these polishes no matter what they looked like. And what made me want them more was I think he was selling them for $2 a piece. $2, y'all. So like the next few polishes I got cost me 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Like $12 for 6 indie polishes. Ridiculous. So I was really excited they were polishes that I wanted, and I was tempted to get more just because everything was really well priced. That was an indie polish, but I didn't. So anyway, they're all from the same collection, these Cadillacquers. I can tell by the finish, but this one's called Doing Her Own Thing, and it is a beautiful cool toned neon pink with a bright blue shimmer. I have so many of these that I think I'm going to do a comparison this summer with all of my pinks with blue shimmers because I do have a lot. Here's what this one looks like in 2 coats, and I feel like my camera is making the shimmer almost look white. In person, it definitely has like a blue kind of purple sparkle to it. It's very soft but beautiful. I also got this one that is called Strawberry. This one has a fun like neon corally orange base and then bright green shimmer. Here's what it looks like built up, and you can see that the shimmer is a lot stronger in Strawberry than it is in Doing Her Own Thing, and I love that. Like, this kind of color is not necessarily one of my favorites. Like corals in general, I'm just like not always a fan of, but the shimmer in here gets me. It's beautiful. Continuing on with that same finish, this Cadillacquer is called Bittersweet, and it's like a tangy yellow leaning orange with a really pretty red shimmer running throughout. The shimmer in here is probably the least subtle of the bunch, and I truly don't know how I feel about this color on me. I kind of like it, but it's not the most flattering. So I'm gonna try it, but if I don't love it, I wouldn't be super surprised to see it end up in a destash. This is another one I was a little bit on the fence about, but if I'm gonna like any neon yellow, it's gonna be one like this. This shade is called See You Again. It's a neon yellow with a really pretty orange shimmer, and the shimmer, if it catches the light right, you can see it. It's like a large particle shimmer. It's cool. This one surprisingly had an amazing formula. It did take 3 coats to build up, but they were 3 easy coats. And again, the shimmer is on the subtle side in this shade. And then the last Cadillacquer that I got from that destash is called Tranquility. It is so unique. It is like a very cool toned but mid-toned green base, and then it's got a strong blue shimmer. It almost gives this polish kind of a jade teal kind of feel. So here that one is built up, and it's got kind of a bolder shimmer like Strawberry did, and I am all about it. So between these Cadillacquers, my favorites are definitely these 3, even though the neon pink I definitely don't need. I just think They're beautiful. And I will, by the way, link Color Expressions destash account for Instagram down in the description box, as well as any of the other destashes that I shopped this month. And the real reason I had to buy from his destash was for this Wildflower Lacquer. He was destashing Lord of the Mountain. This one released in August of 2021 in Polished Gamer's box. I skipped it and I've been having regrets since. So this one was another one. It cost $2. $2. So this one has a soft blue base and then a pretty pink to gold, copper to gold to green shifting shimmer. The swatches I've seen of this are incredible, but when it came in the mail and I looked at the bottle, I was a little bit underwhelmed. I just thought I might have something kind of similar to this, and I might. But once I saw it on the nail wheel, I fell in love all over again. The shimmer is just so beautiful, and contrasting against that base, I know I'm gonna love this when I wear it. I bought a ton more Wildflower Lacquer the past couple months, so we're gonna start off with this one, which is Follow Us on Tweeters 2.0. This one has a cornflower blue base, I wanna say, and then shimmer that's large particle, and it's so sparkly. Oh, it just reminds me of how when the sunlight hits the water, that kind of sparkle, it's beautiful. And I see green and purple and pink shifts in here. I'm so glad that Taylor brought this one back again. It's fantastic, and I really can't wait to wear it. This kind of blue is one that I could wear any time of year. Like, I love it. And from that same release, I got this Wildflower Lacquer called Second Chance. This one has a mid-toned pink base. It's like almost a raspberry pink base, and it's got a little bit of a muted quality to it. It's not quite as bright as like the pink I have on. It's got holographic sparkle and shimmer that's mostly green but also shifts to blue. This is a really pretty shade of pink. I'm always a fan of a bright pink base, but this one's a fun take because most of the bright pinks I have are a little bit more neon leading. They're a little bit more summery of a feel, and this one I think would be beautiful transitioning, especially from summer into fall. I purchased the Hard Candy Christmas Shimmer Mystery, and this shade is called Wildflowers Don't Care Where They Grow. This one is kind of like a nude pink. It's a very warm leading pink base, and it has some beautiful large particle shimmer that's green and blue. I really don't like this one, you all. I know I'm gonna put this in the destash as soon as this video is over. I don't like it. It kind of pulls nude on me, and I feel like looking a little bit more pink on camera than it is in person. In person, it just really washes me out, and I don't like it. I don't like this kind of pink, which is so strange because I feel like I love all pinks, but I don't like this one. I certainly don't like it on me, so I kind of regret buying that one. That's what you get though with mysteries, you know, you never know. And then the other part of that mystery bag I'm also not a fan of, which is so weird because I feel like I like a lot of stuff. Like, I'm kind of hard not to please. I'm picky with stuff. Like, it's hard to make me absolutely love something, but it takes a lot for me to dislike anything, and I don't really like this. But anyway, it is called Cuddle Up and Cozy Down. This one is really complex, and I do like that. It has kind of like a warm purple, dark purple base. It's got holographic in there. It's got some pink micro flakes, and then it's got a shimmer too. I guess maybe it's a large particle shimmer, and you can see it's like kind of rainbowy. It's really pretty. Had a great formula too. That's what it looks like built up. I just, like I mentioned earlier, I prefer my purples to be either light or bright or a cool purple. I don't really like these warmer toned, jewel toned purples on me. Yeah, I'll probably destash this one. And then I bought some from their initial rewind back in December, their winter rewind. This one is Snakeskin 2.0. So this is one that wasn't on my radar until it came back for the re-release, and I don't know how I missed it when it initially came out, because look at all of this, like the really sparkly hollow, the pretty bright base, the glowing iridescent flakes. Are you seeing that? Magic. So here's what it looks like, I think just in 2 coats. I tried to stick with 2 coats for most of these unless I felt like they absolutely needed a third. And the flakies on the swatch wheel aren't nearly as apparent, but in real life I can see them at extreme angles, so I'm still really excited to wear this one. The next one that I grabbed from that winter rewind release is called Tea Time with Ken. This one has a very lightly tinted squishy blue jelly base, and it is packed with a variety of sized flakies, in a variety of sizes. And they glow purple, green, and blue, maybe a little pink too. So even though I saw live swatches for this one, I was not prepared for just how sheer it is. It is so sheer. So I think it's one that I'm going to be layering over a base of some kind. Then I also grabbed the Sparkle and Shine Holiday Mystery. I was so looking forward to the advent calendar this year. For the past couple years, or maybe just 2 years ago, I grabbed the Sparkle and Shine advent calendar, but they didn't do it this year. Instead, they did a little quad with 2 Wildflower polishes and 2 Nailed It polishes. So I grabbed that, and this was one that just immediately took my breath away. It's called Catching Snowflakes. It has a white base and just incredible iridescent flakies. They are so beautiful. Another one that I'm like, please let me wear this winter time. I just can't get it out of my head. Here's what it looks like built up on the nail, and it's pretty on camera, but it is jaw-dropping in person. Oh my gosh, I love it. The other wildflower from that mystery is called Dancing Auroras. This one has kind of a mid-toned, deeper blue base with holographic flakes and shifting shimmer that shifts purple to gold to green. This one I wasn't quite as impressed by, especially on the swatch wheel. I feel like the shimmer is a little on the subtle side, and the holographic flakes, although beautiful, take on a little bit more of a silvery appearance. I just felt like when I swatched this one that I must have something kind of similar to this. So I'm thinking of reorganizing my collection by color, and when I do, I might see if I have a dupe for this, because I feel like I must. Then, like I said, there were 2 Nailed Its in that release. We're moving on to a bunch of Nailed Its now, by the way. This one is called Star Chaser. This is another one that when I opened that mystery box, I could not believe my eyes. Like, I did not feel like it was real life. I had to pinch myself because I felt like I was dreaming. Because I love this shade. I love it. It's a really beautiful, soft, elegant, wintry but bright purple with a shimmer that shifts pink to copper to gold to green and holographic flakes. Here's what it looks like on the nail wheel, and this is to me just so dreamy. Gosh, I love it. I'm out of words. I love this one. And the last polish in that Sparkle and Shine mystery box is another Nailed It, and it is Toy Day. This one's really interesting. It has like a soft, almost seafoamy green base. It's very jelly and lots of iridescent flakies. It's packed with those flakies, and look how big some of them are, like unreal. On the nail wheel, this one was very sheer as well, but I'm wondering if because it has so many flakies in there that it might still build up to full opacity. So I'm interested to play around with it. And because I love Nailed It so much, I did purchase their advent calendar this year. I think it came with 6 polishes. It came with maybe like a cuticle oil, a soap, or maybe a lotion. I think a lotion. And then like a cute little sticker. Anyway, I really wanted an advent of some kind. I was not paying $300 for a full advent calendar, so 6 polishes sounded perfect. I don't need 30 polishes anyway. But this one is called There's No Place Like Home. And this sets the bar high, huh? Like, wow. I think it has a hollow base, a silver hollow base, lots of iridescent flakies in blue and green, and then maybe some blue metallic flakies. Here's what it looks like on the nail wheel, and it actually reminds me of a Paradox polish that I have, but that one does not have the same hollow. This one in the sun is going to be stunning. Also from that advent calendar is Say It Ain't Snow. This one has a very cool chilly purple base. It's like a lavender, and then it's packed with iridescent flakies, and I love nail dit's flaky finish, so I was happy to see so many flakies in here. Here's what this one looks like built up on the nail wheel, and it kind of reminded me of the seafoam before, where I wasn't 100% sure that it's going to build up to full opacity because it has such a squishy jelly finish, but because it has so many flakes, I think there's a good chance. And the last squishy flaky in the box is this pretty purple called Rapper's Delight. This one has more of a true purple base, and the flakies in here that are iridescent have a rainbowy effect. There are so many different colors, and it's got hollow sparkle as well. This one was also quite sheer, squishy, and jelly, but because there are so many flakes, I think it'll build up to full opacity too. This next one was quite different. It is called Prance Like Nobody's Watching. This one has a very super soft, light pink base. It's got shimmer that shifts gold to green, holographic sparkle, and linear holographic too. It's very, very hollow. I'm pretty excited about this polish. I don't usually love linear holographic, but when it has shimmer and scattered hollow too, it gets me a lot more excited. Plus this one kind of gives off a neutrally feel, which I'm loving. You already know I was very excited for this next one. It is called Slay My Name. This one has a berry base with just a little bit of brown in it maybe, and a gorgeous blue shimmer and holographic flakes. So if it has shifting shimmer and hollow flakes, I'm there. I always really enjoy those polishes. However, I will say about these kind of hollow flakes, I don't know what kind they are, but something about them kind of has like a flat feel on the nail. Like it doesn't feel very dimensional. Sorry, I was going out of focus. It doesn't feel super dimensional. You don't get much pond effect. So these aren't my favorite, but I think the base color is gonna save it for me. I really like these kinds of pink shades. They're so beautiful. And the last polish in that Advent box is Let Me Take an Elfie. This one has a silver linear holographic base, as well as strong green to blue shifting shimmer. So this one actually kind of reminds me of another polish that I grabbed this month. I'll have to show that later and maybe do an impromptu comparison, but it's beautiful, breathtaking on the nails. It almost feels like a white holographic base because it's really not showing up silver. I'm wondering if that's because it's layered over this white nail wheel and it's sheer, but linear hollows aren't usually, so I don't know. But it looks like a white linear hollow to me, and the flame is fabulous. And then because I could not get enough Nailed It the past couple months, I also grabbed a couple from a destash. This one is called Life Orb. This one has a, I don't know, green leaning mid-toned blue base, glowy flakies that are iridescent, and black micro flakies. There's no way around it. This was an impulse purchase through and through. Just every time I see someone is destashing a Nailed It, I check to see if I have it, and if I don't have it, I get it most of the time. If I don't have it and it's reasonably priced, I pretty much always want to get it. And this one I don't regret getting because look at that. The black flakies alone make me love it, which makes me want to just buy a black flaky topper. I have Rogue Batsy, but it does not have the same effect. The other Nailed It I grabbed from that destash is this one called Trick or Treat. This one has an orange base, and it looks kind of coppery on camera, but in real life it looks pretty orange. The flakes are jammed in there, and it's got black micro flakes too. Here's what it looks like built up. It is a little bit lighter in person than it's coming off on camera, but I just can't resist a fun orange, especially black flakes, Halloween. I don't know why I passed it on this when it initially released. Probably because I thought it wouldn't look that great on me. To be honest, it doesn't, but I don't care. And then the reason I placed the destash order was to get my hands on this one. It's Polished for Days Opal Watermelon. This was a PPU release in 2021. I didn't grab it when it initially released. Maybe it came back for rewind, I don't know. But I felt pretty confident when it released. I did not want it. And then I think Caitlin Swatches wore it and said something about how everyone who doesn't have it should regret it or something. I'm sure that's not what she said, but that's what I heard. And from that point on, I was on the hunt for this polish. So when I saw it in the destash, I got it. Seeing it on the swatch wheel, I'm like, Rachel, why did you get that? There's a reason why you didn't get it when it released the first time. These kind of colors, they don't do anything for me. Like, it kind of doesn't matter if it's a beautiful enough polish, but this kind of corally base color washes me out. And I just think, I don't know. I'm going to try it. I hope I love it. I really do. If I don't love it on its own, I probably would love it layered over something else. But I just don't know what I was thinking. A lot of you told me I needed this, so I grabbed it. It's called Room for 1,000. This released in Polished for Days Halloween collection. And I got most of the polishes in that release, but I didn't get this one. And a lot of you told me I needed it, so I got it. And you weren't wrong, so thank you. I'm not mad, I appreciate you. Here's what that one looks like on the swatch wheel. Do you see that blue base? Holy cow. This is one of the ones out of this entire haul that I'm most excited to wear. And I'm very excited that it's not limited edition, or at least that it's probably still available now. By the way, I will link any of the polishes from this haul that are available down in the description box. But yeah, you all were right. This is perfection. And I passed on this one because I've purchased a lot of Polished for Days recently. I passed on this polish and it was haunting me. I could not get it out of my head, so I grabbed it too. It is 2024. It just has the most dreary, gloomy, grayish, taupey brown base and glowy blue and purple shimmer. When this released, I reminded myself I don't really wear grays all that often, but this made me think, you know what, I should, so I grabbed it. And how glad I am. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Another one that I really want to wear this winter. So stunning. I did not swatch KBShimmer's winter collection, unfortunately. And I had massive regrets. So I grabbed a few of those. I made myself only do 3 because I convinced myself I could get the rest later, but these I wanted right now. So this first one is called Just the Coolest. It has a lightly tinted light blue base and micro flakes in a variety of colors. They shift gold, green, pink, purple. So it almost takes on like a rainbowy effect. And on the nails, it looks like ice. Like, it reminds me of a beautiful frozen lake in the middle of winter. I think it's stunning. I probably have something that's kind of similar, but I don't care. Right now, I don't care. That's a problem for future Rachel. This next shade is called Skiing is Believing. This one has a kind of pinky purple base, and then it's got lots of shimmer that shifts gold to copper to green to blue. It kind of initially reminded me of Hidden Potential just because it is so packed with that same kind of shifting shimmer that it almost conceals the base. Like, truly, I have a hard time saying what color this is. So here's what it looks like on the nail wheel, a lot different than it looks in the bottle, and it has kind of more of a magenta base color. This is just in 2 coats, and I'm wondering now if I add another coat, will it deepen? So I'm gonna try it. So here's what that 3rd coat looks like. Okay, it deepened a little bit. I like it better in 3 coats. I'm glad I did that because I was having a little bit of buyer's remorse. Just that lighter pink didn't feel super wintry to me, and this shade I like much better. And the last one I could not resist from that collection is Ice and Easy. Oh my goodness, I did not need this, but I had to have it. It's a topper. I love me a good topper. And it's got all of these shifty iridescent flakes in every color of the rainbow. It reminds me of Hollow Taco, Everything Taco without the hollow. And it reminds me of Creative Chaos from Rogue Lacquer. It reminds me a little bit of Cuticula, what is it? Okay, it was Cuticula Broken Fairy Tales. Impromptu comparison just for fun. It's not exactly like any of these. It's really not like the Cuticula. The Cuticula has much more saturated flakies. It does remind me of the Hollow Taco, but it doesn't have the same, it doesn't have hollow, so it's not the same. And then it does remind me of Rogue Lacquer Creative Chaos. However, it's a lot less dense. So I might end up swatching these and seeing if I can get rid of one. I'd probably get rid of the Rogue because I like the lighter look, but we'll see. Here's what it looks like over a darker berry, by the way. I don't know why I layered it over this color. I never like how iridescent toppers look over shades like these, but that's what I did, so. My last destash purchase was to grab a couple of these recent polish releases. This one's called Heartbeat on the Highline. It has an orchidy pink. It's like a very purple leaning light pink base and those gold flakies that I can't resist from polish. So here is what that one looks like built up, and I just love this finish from polish. However, I refuse to pay $14 for it. I can't do it. I don't know. I can't do it. So I don't. So I got it from a destash. When I saw it under $14, I thought maybe it's meant to be, and so I grabbed it. But I love it. It kind of reminds me of Maid Marian from polish, which I destashed, but that one was a little bit pinker and a little bit more muted. This one feels very springy. And then from that same release is this gorgeous green called Your Ivy Grows. This one has a muted, kind of dusty, I don't know, mid-toned green base and then those gold flakes, and the contrast is perfection in my opinion. Here's what this one looks like in 3 coats. The formula couldn't be easier to work with. It's wonderful. And this one I'm putting on for St. Patrick's Day. Perfect for St. Patrick's Day. I have a few Stella Chroma monthly mysteries to share. This one comes from November. It has a taupe base, gold microflakes, and then I think gold holographic pigment too. This one was love at first sight for me, even though, again, I don't think it's going to be so flattering. I don't care because this shade to me is just, it screams elegance. It feels fancy with that golden taupe. I like it a lot. So here's what it looks like built up. Stella Chroma has a great Crelly formula. Yeah. This one's not going to look very good on me. It's not doing anything for my skin tone, but if I need to wear neutral in winter, this is the kind of shade I would like to go for. The next monthly mystery is December's monthly mystery, and this one is a very whited out gray base with a lot of stuff. It feels like kind of New Year's-y. It's got holographic flakes, it's got some other kinds of flakes, it's got micro glitters, and they're like confetti. They come in every color. So this polish was just... it was giving me a hard time. The glitters were really stuck to the bottle, and I left it upside down for 24 hours, and I put it through a pro shaker because I have one of those now. Yay, happy birthday to me. And I still wasn't able to get most of the glitters out. This was the most I could get out. So I couldn't get the larger ones. And honestly, I don't mind because if you watched my channel before, I am a more dainty glitter kind of person. I like the micro glitters better than the chunky hex glitters 90% of the time. So I might prefer this to what was originally in the bottle. And then this next one is bringing all of the glitz and the glam. This was January's monthly mystery. It has a black jelly base and it is packed with gold holographic micro glitter. Love. The black base is so black. It's like a true black. The gold pops against the black and the hollow shines. I love black and hollow, as you probably know if you saw my recent favorite black video. So this polish is one I wish I would have worn for New Year's, but maybe next year. Okay, and I may have placed a few Mooncat orders in the span of a couple months. And maybe I just placed another one yesterday. No, I haven't, but I thought about it. I'm trying to limit myself because generally my rule is I cannot buy polishes from a brand and then buy more of them until I've actually worn some of them. And I haven't worn any of these Mooncat, so I need to wear them before I can buy more. This one though is called Curiosity's Prey. It has a white base, iridescent flakes, and blue shifting shimmer. It kind of reminded me in the bottle of this Wildflower I showed earlier called Catching Snowflakes. But I'm actually seeing now that the Wildflower has some much warmer flakes, and the Mooncat has holographic, which the Wildflower does not, and then it also has that pretty blue shifting shimmer, so not the same. Here's what that Mooncat looks like built up. It's pretty similar on the swatch wheel, except for having no warmth in the flakes. It's almost identical, but I'm not complaining. I love a good white flaky, very pretty. This one also caught my attention. It is Head in the Clouds. This has a really soft white, but warm leaning, kind of grayish base and blue shimmer. Here's what it looks like on the swatch wheel, and I'll just say the shimmer glows more in person. It is very pretty. I was a little bit afraid that it would be similar to Wildflower Lacquer Moonstone, because although I love Moonstone, I'm just not trying to dupe polishes I already have, and it is not. The base color is much more obvious and apparent in this one. I do wonder how sheer it's going to be though. This is one of the polishes that made me place that second order because people would not stop talking about this holographic and how magical this holo was. So this one's called Full Scream Ahead. It is a silver holographic, and it's got green to blue shifting shimmer. So here is Full Scream Ahead. It did have a great formula. It was fully opaque in 2 coats. The holo looks beautiful. It is very smooth, and the green shimmer is glowy. So this one did remind me of that Nailed It that I shared with you earlier called Let Me Take an Elfie, but you can see they're not the same. They're quite close, but they're not the same. Let Me Take an Elfie feels like it has more of a white base, and then the shimmer shifts more purple and green, whereas the Mooncat's mostly green and aqua. So close. They're pretty close. I also grabbed this one called Wish I Hadn't Cried So Much. This was one of the Allison in Wonderland releases, and I remember Jess Face 90 swatching it and just being in love with it. This is not a color that I typically reach for super often, this kind of warm light blue, but it looked so amazing on her. I really wanted it, so I got it. It's got a warm light blue base. It's got more iridescent flakies. We're seeing a theme this month. Shifting shimmer, iridescent flakies. That's all I want, apparently. And a blue shimmer. This one is very, very sheer. I was a little bit surprised by that. However, you can still tell it's blue. I might end up wearing it over something else though. We'll see. And how could I not get this next one? Because people won't stop talking about it either. It is called House of Hades. This one has like a purpley base, but it is packed with gorgeous glowing blue flakes. Here it is in 3 coats. It definitely needed 3 coats to reach full opacity. It is beautiful. Did I need it? I don't think so, but jury's out. I'll wear it and then I'll let you know. I just feel like I have a lot of these kind of blue shades and I do love them, but I don't necessarily need more because they're not my favorite, but it is pretty. I got another pink with blue shimmer. This one is Mer Kitten. This one actually has like a very purple leaning pink base and blue shimmer, and holographic too. I was shocked when this came in the mail. The promo photos, and I know Mooncat has had some stuff with that in the past, but the promo photos for this made it look neon. Almost all of the photos made it look like a neon pink. It is nowhere close to a neon. It is like, I don't know. It's got some brown in the base, and it's not very bright. It's pretty. I like it, but it doesn't look like what I thought it was gonna be. I kind of purchased it knowing I was gonna do that pink comparison with Blue Shimmer and what's one more, you know? And this one's quite different from all the other polishes that will be in that video because it's much more subdued in the base color. So here's what that one looks like built up. Again, very pretty polish, and I'm not complaining that it's different from the other pinks that I have that have Blue Shimmer, but it's just not quite what I thought I was going to be getting. It actually reminds me of another that I love from Cirque Colors called Jet Setter. I bet it's almost identical. Okay, my Jet Setter has faded, but I think it was close to this when I first got it. It's a lot more muted now, but they're pretty close. And then the last Mooncat I had to get is Flight of the Monarchs. This one has a purpley pink kind of base, and then it's packed with all of this autumn copper gold shimmer. This is another one that really got me when it first released because so many people were talking about how amazing it was. In that collection, I think a lot of the swatchers said this was their top pick, and I was just suckered in. But I don't think it looks that great on me. It kind of reminds me of Opal Watermelon from PFD, the base color anyway. And a little bit, nah, not so much. I was going to say of KBShimmer, Skiing is Believing. No, not quite, but it is kind of in the same family, and I just don't like these kind of soft pinks with this shimmer, I don't think. But hey, I'm going to try it, and I hope I love it. I have you all to thank as well for a Cirque Colors order I placed. First, I had to grab one that I've been eyeing for a while. This one is called Glitter Glue. This one has a warm pink base. It's very jelly, and it is packed with iridescent flakes. Yeah, I loved those. I'm just realizing after describing all of these polishes, I am all about the iridescent flake right now, I guess. So here's Glitter Glue built up in 2 coats. Yeah, it has a very sheer base, so I don't expect I'll be wearing it by itself. It's almost more appropriate as a topper, and it's kind of reminding me now of these other iridescent flaky polishes I just shared. Rogue Lacquer Creative Chaos, Hollow Taco, what is it called? I want to call it like Extra Taco. Everything Taco, that's what it is. And then the KBShimmer Ice and Easy. Same kind of situation. Oh, I have a type. But the real reason I placed the order was I wanted to play around with a few more of their jellies. After wearing navy jelly in December, I guess it was December, I wanted some more. So I got this one called Morning Tide. Quite a few of you recommended it. It's a light blue jelly polish. Here's Morning Tide in 3 coats, and I was very pleased with the opacity in this one and just how smooth and even and easy it was to work with. It's another one I could see myself sneaking on my winter rack and trying to wear it as a jelly sandwich. Ooh, I get excited just thinking about it. And the other one y'all convinced me to try was this one called Rose Jelly. This one's kind of a nudie brown pink jelly color, and it reminds me a lot of OPI Put It Neutral. When I saw it in person, I was like, oh no, I think I just duped myself. So we'll see. But this one also had a really beautiful, smooth, even, easy to work with formula, and I mean, I love wearing these kinds of shades as bases for toppers, so I'm sure I'll get good use out of it. And finally, I did pick up 3 mainstream polishes, all from Essie actually, and also all from a destash. This one I've been kind of wanting to get for a while. It is Essie Playdate. It's this really pretty, warm, light purple shade that I think is just spring. It's springtime to me. So here's what Playdate looks like built up, and I think it's gorgeous. I love it. Really pretty color. I also grabbed one that I think I hear Laurie from Go Polish talk about a lot. This is Essie Flowerista. The formula on this was perfect. It was pretty much a 1-coater. I am tempted to put this one on for Valentine's Day. Like, look at it. I think it's so flattering. It's a little bit darker in person though than it's coming up on camera. And then the final polish that I grabbed this season, another Essie. This one is Bahama Mama, iconic. So here's what Bahama Mama looks like in 2 coats. I think I'd need a third. This one did come with the skinny brush. And I almost wish I would have bought it full price, because if I had, I probably would have gotten the paddle brush and the application would have been better. But remind me if you know, what polish tops can you substitute for Essie's? Is it cupcake polish? I want to say it is, but I don't know for sure, and I don't want to buy without knowing. So let me know if you know. So that was my whole video for this winter. As you can see, we've strayed from the budget a little bit. So I'm gonna try to rein it in a little bit in the next couple months. We'll see if I'm able to. Let me know down in the comments if you have any of these polishes. Do I need to prioritize wearing some of them? Because like I've seen some swatches of these on Instagram, like Ether Dragon from Ethereal Lacquer. Oh, I've gotta get that on my nails soon. Yeah, let me know all your thoughts down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!